everybody. I'm Hillary Atkin from the Atkin Report, and I'm so excited to welcome Jordan Matthew Young from The Voice to this edition of Hillary's Happy Hour. Jordan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. Congratulations on your incredible live playoff performance of Gold Dust Woman. Your vocals and your slide guitar were amazing and elicited a 4-chair standing ovation.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was great to watch, but how did you feel when Kelly said that you were an incredible talent and your coach Blake said that no one comes close to what you do?
I just take anything at this point is just a huge plus. I never intended on making it this far. And, it's a humbling moment anytime you're on that stage, whether you do good or not, for me, I'm just always trying to just have the best performance I can possibly have, regardless of any other situation, whether it's the crowd or the coaches or anything. I'm just trying to kind of to impress myself, because I'm going to be my worst critic no matter what. So I just want to be so prepared to perform that when I'm doing it on that stage, it's just kind of automatic and I can just be comfortable, and so once you're done singing, anything that comes after that is just kind of a bonus, because you survived the performance. And so it's all downhill after that, It was great to hear, man. They're great people and they give awesome input,
Well, you've had so much performing experience. What is it like performing with that virtual audience and only just a few people, including the coaches, in person?
I haven't even noticed the virtual audience once. I'm really just kind of singing for the people that are in that room, the coaches are there, the band is there, and there's, a lot of people in the room that you can't see on television, obviously. So for me, I'm just kind of, I'm trying to do my best for my ears. And then also I'm looking at the coaches, I'm looking in their eyes, and I'm looking over at the band and I can see the producers and stuff off to the side and I'm looking at them. And it's for me very, very difficult to perform without the audience there. That's my whole world, is to be performing for people in a room, and so for me it's really tough, but we have a great crew and the sound is good, my monitors sound great and everyone's very prepared. Obviously it's extremely professional, so I just have to show up and do my part, and like I said, just be so prepared that it's just kind of muscle memory,
Yeah, it shows, definitely. But I want to take you back to your knockout performance of She Talks to Angels by the Black Crowes. How did you choose that song? And then how did you feel when Blake announced you as the winner?
That song was just kind of on a list, we sort of get these lists of songs that are pre-approved and you kind of choose a bunch of songs from that list, and it's really up to the coach and the music director and the producers and everybody involved what you end up singing, but I had it high up on my list, that song, because I knew that was the direction I wanted to go, was in the kind of rock world, I started out singing country. I love country and I'm down to sing country anytime, but I wanted to make sure before I left the show, I got to show that I'm a rock guy. That's my thing. So it was a perfect fit for me. I'm glad that they chose it, and making it through that round was crazy. Every time I've made it through, it's been totally surreal because everyone is so talented that I'm just kind of shocked every time I make it through, I mean, we're surrounded every day by all these ridiculously talented singers and artists. And so I've always considered myself on the bottom of the talent pool. And a lot of these people have been singing since they were 5 years old in church, and I'm just kind of a road dog, I've just been like driving around in a van for the last 15 years playing in bars and stuff. So it's, you know, very humbling and just kind of like, oh, okay, I'm going to the next round. You know, it's surprising each time.
Well, let's take it back to your blind audition then, when you performed Keith Whitley's I'm No Stranger to the Rain.
Yeah.
And what was your strategy going into this whole thing? Like, what was in your mind compared to what actually happened on that stage?
um, you know, it's hard to say other than just the big thing is like, wow, this is absolutely nothing like playing a show. You know what I mean? It couldn't be further from what I'm used to when it comes to getting up on a stage and singing for a bunch of people in a dance hall or a venue or a bar or whatever. It's very, very different from that. So that's the main thing I'm trying to tackle in my mind on that performance was like, wow, this sounds very, very different. It feels very different. It looks different, you know, there's all these crazy lights and the stage is crazy looking. And I'm just trying to get through it. Honestly, that was definitely my roughest performance. But you know, I had good coaching on that song from the band director, Paul. We had decided to take it up that octave during the bridge. Obviously, you know, in the Keith Whitley song, he just stays in that real beautiful low bass tone. And that was the cool thing about our version was that I kind of did a mixture of the two. You know, I did the Keith Whitley stuff in the beginning, and then I brought it up to the kind of more like rock kind of singing, you know, like my alto stuff and the growl that I have. And that's when I started being a little more confident and feeling a little more like, oh, okay, like this is kind of my wheelhouse now, you know, singing a little harder. And I had my guitar with me, so I was pretty comfortable. But yeah, I was just trying to hang on, honestly. By the time the song ended, I was like, wow, this is crazy, you know.
Well, I'm so glad you made it, but let's talk about your coach, Blake. You have called him a badass, and I know you mean that in a great way. But what are some of the takeaways that you've gotten from your experience with Blake Shelton?
The main thing that I think anyone who works with Blake, it's probably going to be the same answer every time, is that he's just exactly who he is. He's totally genuine from what you see on TV or, you know, from when the camera's on and when it's off, he's the same. And he's always fostering you to be yourself, you know, like he picks you for a reason. And he doesn't, you know, like he doesn't try to mold you into something. He hears what you do, and if he likes that, he picks you. And he, you know, the song choices that you guys end up working on together, he's like, I trust you and I know you're going to do something cool with it, so do your thing. And for me particularly, he's always encouraged me to, like, my voice is really rough and gravelly, you know, and he really likes that. So he's like, hey, I don't care how rough it is, do your thing, man. That's cool. We like that, you know. So I've just stuck with that. I trust the band. I trust Paul, the band manager, because he and I are the ones that really make these decisions on what the song's going to do, where it's going to go, what the vocals are going to do, what key it's in, you know, what tempo it is, everything. So Blake's there to be like, you know, yes, definitely keep doing that, you know, or like, hey, man, what if we tried this? You know what I mean? And but he's never trying to mold you into something other than what you are. He just wants your best qualities to shine through, you know?
Well, I think they are. And I know that you have got to get back to rehearsing. So, Jordan, I wanted to raise a toast to you as we wrap up Hillary's Happy Hour.
All right.
Your continued
Cheers.
success on The Voice and in your career. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers.